Okay, continuing chapter 9 for a third part. Our key is still sticking. Yeah, Hector could use another level. Oh, too bad he doesn't get one through his own uselessness. God, Hector. Being useless. If there's another turn to reinforce, then Selwood can get a level from them. Lynn, why not? Maybe we'll get a level for her yet. And Farina, I'm gonna have her head up to this house here. Priscilla's gonna keep healing. Just keep healing. Just keep healing. Yeah, Louise should grab a level. It's nice that she's getting levels just off of weakening enemies so others can take it. See, this is what I mean. This whole hack. This has been the thing. Just these one stat level ups. It's just been. It's a madness. It's terrible. One stat level again. Just this. Arg. This is why my units are so shitty, because of their shitty ass level ups. So, I guess that's the end of the reinforcements. So, still want to get Elowood another level. So he maybe has, his defense is still awful, but if he could just get another point. I really should put a dragon shield as one of the treasures in this hack. I realize that now. I should have, but I didn't think of it. Gonna have Hector stand right here. But if we just had dragon shields, I could just give that to Elowood and he'd be more reasonable. We're gonna do shopping later too, so. And now for a visit. This one also doesn't have any interesting text. It just has this old woman being kind of aggressively wanting a nap. But this item is really good. The Lance Reaver, you will be quite happy to have that in the next chapter. Because there's some Lance reinforcements in the next chapter where you can really get into trouble with having guys who can tank them. You'll find you don't have enough dudes to do it. But if you give one of your dodgy people like Carla or Lynn, I did it with Lynn in one run, then what you can do is you can just have one of them grab the Lance Reaver and they'll dodge tank it. Because with the Lance Reaver, they'll have an advantage of the Lances. That's one of the few cases where you actually can dodge tank in that chapter. So that's extremely valuable. Oh shit, I didn't look at that carefully enough. Damn, this is why I get too sloppy. It's bad. Okay, I want Hector to like just damage this dude a little, but not kill him. But that's not going to happen. Hector's apparently too badass to not kill him. God damn it! No HP only. Hector, you also have become a disappointment to me. You have. There's nothing else to be said. The problem is it's been the entire damn hack has been all of them just over and over getting shit-ass levels. Like, even with the amount of bonus levels I gave them, they still ended up worse than some of the characters in my other run-through. With a small number of exceptions. Like, I think Lynn and Kent are doing better than they did in the other one. That's about it. Dang it. Okay. So, we actually are going to want to do the shopping. This is our last chance to shop, and we need to. Before we draw out either of these enemies, because we'll sort of run out of chapters. So I'm going to quickly look through our inventory. Kent needs a lance. Dart needs an axe. Extra bow. Actually, would probably be fine. Yeah. I don't think it's going to be actually possible for us to run a bow. I guess he could use an extra lance. You do not want to run out of weapons in the next chapter. You really don't. I mean, you never do, but there'll be nothing you can do about it. So, it'd probably be best to make sure everyone has at least 2 weapons. So, let's start. So, Carla's basically set. So, let's dump some of our extra stuff on her. Another axe, another hand axe for him would be good. Elowood, he should be fine. He's got a bunch of different weapons going on here. Let's just shove the Lance Reaver over to him too. Farina, I guess I should have some of my faster characters. This is a problem with not having a merchant. fire. We need at least a fire book for her. Another axe, another hand axe for Hector will probably be better because hand axe is what we tend to run out of. She'll probably be fine. Raven's not going to fight that much anyway. So 2 axes, 2 hand axes, 3 lances, maybe 2 javelins. I'll send all my speedier dudes off to do that. Just to note, this is the one issue with this chapter, is that by the time you get to the bottom, you don't really want to run back and do the shopping because it's going to take you so long to get over there. So, yeah. This part is going to be slow and a bit boring because it's going to involve us just walking a long distance. But, you know, what can you do? I guess I should have put an opening here that we could get through. That would be a lot more convenient. There's also a house here, which I'm going to get just for completion's sake, but the text in it is not actually that exciting, so if you skip any of them, that one is really fine to skip. It's... Honestly, there were so many houses to write at this point that I started to run out of inspiration. So, yeah, there are some boring bits. Also, I'll just quickly grab it. Yeah. This is just a dude suggesting that if Lycia was fighting, other nations might attack them, which is not a particularly profound insight, frankly. I mean, you should be able to figure that out yourself. See, if there was just an opening here, it would be so much better. I should have done that in the design, but I didn't do it. So, 2 lances. I think that's all he can actually hold. So let's have Furina take those and leave. And we also need vulners for everyone. This chapter is rapidly becoming a shopping challenge. It's really hard to make sure your items are evenly spread out. But right now we don't have enough vulners. I know it seems like we have plenty of vulners. We don't. That is not the case. I also am, I guess, going to sell this red gem just because otherwise... The shopping, I admit the shopping this chapter is kind of annoying. Like, I'm coming out and saying that right here. Steel axe, what's the weight on that? I can't remember the constitution of Guyton darts. Iron axe is good enough. And cheaper. Oh yeah, I can only have these iron axes, can't afford anything else. I'm actually selling this heal, and the reason is that the next chapter is it's a timed mission, so we literally cannot use up that many heals, and this will let me buy an extra vulnerary to give to someone else. The next chapter is prep screen, so we can shuffle stuff around as much as we need to. How much space do you have? I'll just have you buy an extra vulnerary then. There's an opportunity to steal a few vulneraries in the next chapter, but it's not much of a chance. It's a small window. So, we don't want to chance it. I guess we don't really need to sell this red gem. We're not going to buy much else. We just need 2 hand axes, and then I think we'll probably be fine with that. So it's not a big deal. Because only the axe fighters are really running out of weapons, and they're going to need it. Yeah, I think we'll really be perfectly fine. For vulneraries, I know this part is boring, sorry. I've got 3, 4, 5. Well, I guess 5 if you count those 2 together. 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 and a spare use. That should be enough, I think. But I do want to make sure I have the spare hand axes, because they are important, because there's several enemies that just have a bunch of ranged stuff. Okay, so now we want to draw out this guy a bit, and make sure that we do not simultaneously... Yeah, see, that's the thing. We have to draw the boss out first. He has a spear and a sword, so let's have Hector carefully move into range of the spear. And have the rest of our guys nearby. in spite of the fact that they may or may not be much help. You can see that we end up setting a bunch of our heavy hitters up here to shop, so this may get tough and it may end up killing me. And we don't have anyone with any particularly good range down here to get the... I may not have thought this through. And I don't want to miss that last task. You can see that the boss? Fucking powerful. So that's... Oh yeah, this is Hector, by the way. He's the strange man. He's, they think he's a creeper. Notice that she'll still say that even if Hector visits, because of course, she doesn't know what he looks like. How would she know? So, we have to just try and not die here. You know what could work? Let's have Nino. Let's make a save state in case he criticals. He didn't. And now we can have Hector. Yes! More levels for Hector is never bad, and more skill for Hector is also never bad. So down here, I may actually take the trouble to fly Furina all the way down there, just because that way she can grab the house while both not dying to the mage and not killing the mage, because I want that last treasure. I don't even remember what it is, but the point of Let's Playing is to show off all the content in the hack, right? So, we're getting that last goddamn treasure. I will admit that I've done better jobs on previous routes when I kind of did the shopping earlier or had less to buy, but, yeah, some of the design in this chapter makes it difficult to actually get everything unless you're willing to kind of wait and walk your guys around. So, although overall I like the design of this chapter, it does also have some design flaws, which I am aware of. But, I think it's alright. It kind of makes you put in effort if you want to get everything. Yeah, she's almost there. Have her visit. Yeah, apparently Darren, he's a dick. He's not even a main character in this hack, but I just, this chapter sort of explains why he's siding with Lundgren here. Because, powerful allies never hurts. Yes, we got a strength and energy ring. Oh, darn, I didn't think this through at all. Alright, fine, I'll throw this out. The energy ring is better. See, this treasure was totally worth it. Totally worth it. Who needs the exp? Furina can have it, why not? Wow, so many healed people. Okay, we'll just kill this guy and that'll be the end. We're almost done. Let me do one last quick check, make sure I got everything that can be gotten. Yeah, I did. Alright, Furina, finish the chapter for us. But yeah, some of the kind of windy alleyways make it a little hard to actually get everything. But given that the things like house and stuff, I mean, they're optional. If you're willing to get them, you can. But anyway, here we see something very important to the plot. So, in a minute. So we have to flee because, Laos can easily send more knights. We gotta get out of here. We're planning to go into the mountains so that they avoid us. And then Hector just sort of shows up out of nowhere. Notice that Lyn has absolutely no idea who he is, but as you'll recall from Hector's appearance early in the chapter, he knows Lyn's name. So, this is a little mystery, which is not resolved in this. It's something connected to the larger story this hack is related to. So this whole thing really does function as a prologue for a story that isn't written yet. Yeah. I'll also say that, Hector is basically just lying off his ass here, just as opposed to for his motives. But we know that from watching the chapter. He specifically went to keep Lyn alive. He has a motivation to do that. But, we have to flee to the mountains, but going to the mountains could be difficult. Luckily, Hector is a hermit who lives in the mountains, and he can guide us. Lyn is a little suspicious. She keeps her cool, though, she's startled by him, but she manages to keep it together. And yeah, Hector, he hates explaining anything about himself, so he's just aggressively mysterious all the time. He's also he has a very nonchalant appearance. He comes off as being extremely calm and not really caring one way or the other, but he does. But our heroes have no choice because if they get lost in the mountains, they're going to starve to death in the mountains or whatever, die of exposure. And meanwhile, Lynn runs off to gather them, and then Eliwood shows up. I'll also note that there are different conversations here depending on whether or not you recruited Hector. I think it's very unlikely that anyone would not recruit Hector, because why would you just leave him as NPC in the whole map? Plus, he'd probably get himself killed if he did, because, you know, he'll just run around and do whatever. But I did do 2 different ones. I actually find the conversation where you didn't recruit him, I think it's pretty funny, but obviously you're better off recruiting him and actually leveling him up. Eliwood still has a rage on about Hector. I feel like Hector, much more than other characters, just ticks him off. He just does. It's just like, he just doesn't like his face. And Hector is making no effort to change this. I think Hector is just really amused by Eliwood's rage at him, just his flailing around. It entertains him a lot, so he encourages it. Meanwhile, unlike Raven, who it's really obvious that he's just needling people, you can tell he's doing it, Hector manages to the other characters at least, to come off as though he's just oblivious to their rage, which just makes them more upset. So I really like the 2 of them. I just like their interactions a lot. I think Hector also likes Eliwood because other people get annoyed by Hector's mysterious after a while and just kind of are not interested in talking to him, whereas Eliwood just like a child pulling pigtails, cannot leave him alone. See, Hector finds this behavior endearing, apparently. So that's the chapter, and next time is the last chapter, which I've been building up this whole time, and I hope that you won't find it disappointing. It's another chapter where I may die. I actually didn't in this one. I'm very pleased. I'm like, wow, I guess all of those playthroughs beta testing this hack made me better at it, because initially I died a lot when I first was playing it. So, but yeah, we got Hector. And next time is the big conclusion, which will definitely be more than one video, because there's a whole big ending as well. So, we're almost at the end of this Let's Play. One more chapter. Hope you're looking forward to it.